Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my girlfriend Carol. How are you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is November 2nd, 1996.
Yeah, it is.
Happy Halloween to everybody that had a... Did you have a good Halloween?
I got a tummy ache.
Oh, yeah? Just from the candy?
You know. I ate too much candy. I always eat too much candy.
Yeah, that's a problem. It's a problem in this household.
It's awesome, though. I love Halloween.
We need more kids to come to our new apartment door.
Right? Yeah, I guess maybe like 4 bags of candy was too much. Oops.
Yeah, 2 of those were bought with you in mind. So. But I hope you all had a good Halloween out there. Now, more spookiness. The election's coming up next week. So, gear up for Clinton versus Bob Dole.
Yay, politics.
We're not going to really talk about politics because, I know, sorry to talk about politics, everybody. Everyone hates when I talk about politics.
We should talk about religion, too. Let's just do it.
Yeah, let's talk about Jerry Falwell.
What?
What?
What is that?
You don't know who Jerry Falwell is?
No.
He's a preacher dude.
Oh.
Anyway, so, like, popular since the 80s. He was Ronald Reagan. I don't want to talk about it. We're not talking about politics.
Okay.
How about this? Here's an article for you, Carol.
What's up?
Some people just don't want kids. So what's the problem? Dear Ann Landers. It's your favorite. It's Ann Landers.
I hate her so much.
I am 21, have been married a year, and have no desire to have children. Many people have said to me, you're too young to know what you want. Later in life, you will wish you had children. This makes me mad because I do know what I want. In fact, both my husband and I have taken measures to be sure I don't become pregnant accidentally. Ooh, that sounds like some surgery.
Sounds pretty serious.
I love my life the way it is, and I don't want children to mess it up. Holy
wow.
Shit. Guess you shouldn't have kids.
Right?
Why is there so much prejudice against couples who decide to remain childless? Because the entire, purpose of our species is to have more of us. Of all species, really. I have plenty of reasons for not wanting children. For starters, they're incredibly expensive. Secondly, parenthood is a lifetime responsibility. And what about the violence, drugs, peer pressure, and worsening school conditions that kids have to deal with every day? I don't want to bring a child into this world.
Where does she live?
Don't get me wrong. She lives on the rough streets of Dover, Delaware.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, Anne. I like kids. I just don't want my own. I love the freedom I have because there are no kids in the picture. My husband and I will never walk the floor at night waiting for teenagers to come home, wondering if they're in trouble or dead in a ditch somewhere. Someone traumatized their parents,
Right.
I think. People shouldn't look down on those of us who choose not to have children, yet I feel they do. Childless and happy in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
What do you think, Carol? She's very strong. She has very strong opinions.
Yeah, I think that at 21, it's okay for her to not want to have kids. Mm-hmm. It's too early. Enjoy your life right now, sure.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that she won't want kids later. I think people are assholes for giving her a hard time about it.
Agreed.
But I agree that it's you have no idea yet.
It's a personal decision for everyone.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to have kids, and not everyone should have kids.
She kind of sounds like one of those people that shouldn't.
Some people definitely shouldn't have kids. But also, like you said, at 21, your brain's not even fully developed yet, right?
Yeah, I mean, she just got to start drinking. Don't get pregnant.
Just because you've been married a year and you're 21 doesn't mean you need to start popping out kids. It's not 1941.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that Now, to the broader issue, though, do you think there's a prejudice against people that don't want to have kids?
I mean, okay. Developmentally, that developmental task that is assigned to a person in their, middle age, like in their 20s, 30s, 40s.
Sure.
Is to give back. Mm-hmm. And generally, that's by having children.
Okay.
As long
Bless
as
our society with some more of you.
Right. And as long as they find some other way to give back to society, that's fine. Mm. Otherwise, they're not fulfilling the developmental task, and they're probably going to be overly selfish people.
Ah, okay. So, find a way to give back, Pennsylvania. Why don't you help the Steelers win a Super Bowl? I don't know. I'm not going to talk about sports either because people hate when I talk about sports. But
what did Ann Landers say?
Neil O'Donnell. She said that it's a very personal decision and everyone can do what the fuck they want, essentially. Okay. She didn't have the incisive insight of the developmental task assigned to you or anything like that. So what she said doesn't fucking matter, Carol. We got the real answer from you.
That's right. Fuck Ann Landers.
So, no one has for 50 years. So, this week, we're not going to talk about TV show because we have a lot to talk about with the movie that we saw this week. But because we saw a movie all about love and murder, we decided to, or whatever, suicide. It's Romeo and Juliet. You know the story.
Yeah.
We decided that we're going to grace you with another edition of Massive Love.
Yay. Love me massively.
So, first one, Carol. Mission is possible.
Okay. Missionary.
Are you a tall 27 to 35-year-old intelligent, attractive male? If so, the CIA and a single black female have a mission for you.
Oh my.
Call for further details. Is this cute, or is this how the CIA is really recruiting people?
I think that this is the beginning of some kind of weird sex game.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, she's going to want him to, I don't know, infiltrate her perimeter and and read her briefs or whatever. I don't know.
It's going to be like True Lies.
There you go. Yeah, we did that movie, didn't we? Mm-hmm. True Lies.
We did, where Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger are married, and they're like, he's a spy, and she doesn't know, and yeah.
Arnold's like, I'm married to Jamie Lee Curtis. I can't pronounce our daughter's name. It's Alicia Jushku. How about money makes our lives comfortable?
I mean, that sounds true.
What a way to start your ad, though. Money makes our lives comfortable. Love gives our lives meaning. Christianity, not the rules you know, but the love you show. I believe in maintaining the bridges that connect our lives. I thoroughly enjoy the beauty which man creates with God through talent, skill, art, antiques, architecture, landscape, etc.
What the fuck?
White female 42 would like white male 40 to 55 of similar belief for companionship.
But what is the belief?
The belief is that the beauty that man creates with God through talent, skill, art, antiques, architecture, landscape, etc.
That's a hippy dippy person who lives on a commune, I think.
She wants the to maintain the bridges that connect our lives. Is that like the George Washington Bridge?
I'm like,
or in Michigan, it's the Mackinac Bridge, the Ambassador Bridge.
I'm kind of horrified by this ad.
It's weird, right?
I mean, it seems like they're recruiting for some kind of cult.
You say, yeah, we're recruiting for the CIA, and now we're recruiting for cults. Because she starts out by saying money makes our lives comfortable. And then goes on about Christianity.
It's very weird.
She defines Christianity as not the rules you know, but the love you show.
I think they're starting a new nation.
Yeah. That's a blast from the past. Assalamu alaikum. I don't know where he's been.
Well, he must have got his people and started his nation.
I guess. Here's one for me. Well, I mean...
Is it now?
No, it's...
But I have to have a talk.
No, but I mean, I like bodybuilding, so this is bodybuilder, attractive, European, single white male, 30, trilingual, non-smoking, non-drinking, enjoy reading, writing, C-SPAN, seeking sincere, warm-hearted angel. This guy sounds boring as fuck.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's in the gym all the time, watching C-SPAN on one of those Zenith TVs bolted to the wall. Those giant 400-pound televisions. And
he won't even try to order you wine in some annoying foreign language because he doesn't drink.
No, he doesn't smoke, doesn't drink.
What do you do?
Okay, Adamant. He body builds. Guy's got to be in great shape, though. He's European, too, so it's like another Arnold. But Arnold smokes. Arnold smokes those cigars, big old cigars.
You know, I don't think it's as impressive when a European speaks 3 languages because... Well, first of all, it's like, imagine every state in the United States had its own language.
No, I know why. Because 3 European languages equals American.
Well, basically, but I mean, like, they're all...
Your languages are fucking worthless.
No, but I mean, they're all very similar. So it's not like learning 3 full languages. It's like adding on. It's like... It's like, I don't know, reading a dictionary for slang.
What if you're German, though?
What if you are?
Well, those aren't similar. Like, that's because I assume what you're talking about is like Italian and French and Spanish and Portuguese.
Yes.
Yeah, but German's different. Like, Feierzeug.
But what if it is? They didn't say.
What are you talking? What?
They didn't say what languages. So what if they speak Spanish, Italian, and French?
No, actually, what he speaks is English, Esperanto, and...
Oh, yeah. He does have to speak English.
Yeah, one of them's English. English, Esperanto, and Klingon.
Nobody speaks Klingon. Come on.
How about this? There's a book, like Learn Klingon or whatever the fuck.
That's so ridiculous.
Know,
but who's actually going to do that?
I don't know. Dorks. People that have those books that are like the Starship Enterprise, and it's like, no, in this episode, they go to those conventions, and they're like, Patrick Stewart, in this episode, you went down to Turbo Shaft 4, but Turbo Shaft 4 doesn't go all the way down to 10 forward. I can see in the concordance here that yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. How about this one? Happy to be nappy?
No.
Question mark. Ann Arbor area, single white male. By the way, 29, seeks single black female with courage to be a natural woman. Weave queens needn't apply. This dude's white, single white male, 29, and he starts out his thing by saying happy to be nappy. And then,
holy shit.
And then has the audacity to tell single black females, you can only call me if you have the courage to be a natural woman. Weave queens needn't apply.
No one's going to apply. You'll be lucky if you don't get your ass beat.
Seriously, dude. Say that to a black woman. Go to a beauty parlor and say that to a black woman's face.
Oh my God.
Those fingernails are coming off faster than you can run. Because, yeah, rings and fingernails are coming off because you're getting your ass beat.
What a dick.
Happy to be nappy, question mark. Fuck you. By the way, if you want to have natural hair as a black woman or anyone, do what you want. If you want to have weave, if that's what you want, do what you want too.
Right?
If you want to put an astringent in, who gives a fuck? It's your hair.
For sure.
Like, what kind of... I mean, I know that when you're looking for someone, you're trying to like, give what your personal preferences are, so there's a little bit of judgment in there, kind of. But, I mean, that's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck what someone's hair... I just don't understand. Who cares if they have a weave?
He's nice.
Absurd old black male.
Really?
Mid-50s. Beer belly, big feet.
What is happening?
And silly grin.
What?
Needs younger black female 35 to 45. Neat and sharp to form a couple. Ha ha. With exclamation
Holy
points.
shit. No.
So someone forgot to give Grandpa the medication. And he put an ad into the paper. What is this?
I'm
Is this
scared.
Bill Cosby writing this?
I had the same thoughts.
Absurd, but it's absurd, comma. So he's absurd and old, black male, mid-50s. So he's saying that's old. I love this too. Beer belly, big feet. What's he trying to imply
I
there?
don't know. I didn't even think about that. Honestly, I was like picturing like a clown, you know, with like the big clown shoes.
It's Black Bozo the Clown with a horn.
Well, he said he's absurd.
Oh my God, he's got big feet though. You know what that means? Big socks.
Yeah, but see, you got to be able to get to that point where the feet matter.
That's why he's putting it out there. He's got a silly grin. He wants a younger black female.
They all want a younger female.
35. Well, 35, 45 is not bad if he's like 55. Well, he says mid-50s, so what's that? 54, 55, 56, 57 maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just got to be neat and sharp though.
Okay, Grandpa.
Way to pull out the that slang from help me play with the ball and the hoop. To form a couple, and then he laughs at the end. Ha ha! What's funny about this?
Right? Are you playing a trick on us?
Right? Is this whole thing been a prank?
I mean, what if there is a girl out there who likes big feet and grandpas and beer bellies, and then she's like, "But you laughed at me."
I thought this was for real. I thought we had something.
So weird. Everybody's so weird.
Yeah. So that's massive love this week, Carol.
I take it back. Do not massively love me.
Not any of those people.
No.
Not unless you want a trilingual.
I mean, that basically just like sealed the gates.
I'll tell you what. He's trilingual, but is he cunnilingual?
Oh God.
Cunnilingual.
That's.
Is he a cunning linguist?
Ew. You're a dirty old man.
Yeah, okay. I'm not in my mid-50s.
But in your heart and your soul, you are.
I do have big feet, though.
Yes, you do. Good for you.
Confirmed.
Got those clown feet.
Not that big, Carol. Jeez.
Clown nose to go with it.
Oh, my God. What does that mean? Because it's wide. I got it. The wideness, too. I understand. Anyway. So this week we saw a film. And I'm going to call this a film, Carol.
Okay, we did. We did see a film.
We saw Romeo Juliet.
It was
equals movie.
Awesome.
Do you think so? You think it was awesome?
Yeah, I love it. I think it was awesome.
Okay, so Carol loves it. Romeo plus Juliet.
I mean,
well, your girl's in there, Clare Danes
from
My So-Called
Thank
Life.
you. My brain stopped working for a second.
It's okay. Rayanne's here to help you.
And the guy from Basketball Diaries.
Yeah. He was also in that. What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
But like he looks like and acts like the same character from the Basketball Diaries, kind of.
Yes, there are similarities for sure. Especially
like when we very first see him and he's wearing like a suit. It reminds me of the funeral scene.
Well, he's lanky as hell, man. This dude is lanky.
Yeah.
But you thought about putting him on your list of guys that you could have sex with.
Well, yeah, I think he's handsome.
I don't know. He's scrawny.
Well, you don't need to have sex with him. He's not going on your list.
I'm not going to, so don't worry. He'd never have me. So, I'm going to say, this is directed by a man named Baz Luhrmann, who 4 years ago made his directorial debut with a movie called Strictly Ballroom. That predates our show, so we never talked about it. Although it is a decent movie. I've seen it. It's a pretty good movie. He started his career in theater, which makes sense when you watch this movie. There are lots of real bold choices in this movie, and I respect it for that. Like, lots of very, very bold choices. So I can see this movie being one of those you love it or you hate it kind of movies.
Yeah.
And I hate to agree with you, but I loved it.
I really thought you were going to say you hated it.
No. At the beginning, I was worried.
Yeah.
Because it starts...
It does start a little much.
It starts with a television kind of fading out or moving away from us. Mm-hmm. But television exposition from a news person giving us the beginning of Romeo and Juliet, where it's two houses, both alike in stature, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to showing us the actors and the city, and it's super quick cut. Like, if you've ever seen MTV News, this is very MTV generation movie, but it's like choo 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 choo, like very quick cut, and then we're seeing all the people, and it's not saying their actors' names.
No,
it's just showing them and saying whatever, Lady Capulet as the mother, or whatever, What's it say?
No, I mean, it says their names and, like, yeah, I think it says, God, I don't remember now. Doesn't it say, like, Juliet's mother or whatever?
Yeah, but yeah, something like that. But it makes it seem like what we're watching is a reenactment of a thing that already happened. And during this whole opening, they're saying the same opening again. Like, they repeat the opening of Romeo and Juliet twice.
Yeah, you know what I kind of got the impression is that it was like the playbill. It's like you're sitting in your seat waiting for the show to start.
Okay.
And they're just introducing the characters and everything to you as they would if you were picking up the play to read it or if you were sitting in the audience waiting to watch it.
Oh, that's probably what it is, yeah. But it's weird. It doesn't work. The rest of this movie's cinematic. That part is not.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. The beginning of this movie I don't think works. The first maybe 5 minutes. I wish they would have began it a little differently. I wish they wouldn't. They could have just opened with the news coverage and then as they end with the news coverage, and that would have been fine. They didn't need this other part.
I guess I actually did find it kind of helpful, though, to know who the people were before the action started.
I guess. I mean, you might confuse, like, Brian Dennehy and like Barbara Hershey. I think Barbara Hershey's like lost in this movie, but she's Lady Montague. Or no, she's Lady Capulet.
That was Barbara Hershey?
Yeah.
The brunette from Beaches.
Yes.
What the fuck? Okay, we gotta go see it again.
But yeah, I think so. I think I'm saying the right name. But anyway, so she's one of the parents. And then she's Lady Capulet.
The one who gets smacked around.
Yeah, and then there's what's his name? Paul Sorvino, who is Lord Capulet or whatever. And then the Montagues are Brian Dennehy and Christina Pickles, who was on St. Elsewhere.
had no idea where you were going with that.
So I can see how you might confuse them, is what I'm saying. Everyone else, I think, is sort of, because they also introduce them as they come on. They show whoever and they say Tybalt. Mm-hmm. So That's true. So they don't really need to do it again. They could just do it the first time.
Okay. For Tybalt, they say Prince of Cats.
Yeah, well, he's the Prince of Cats.
So I think they're kind of just giving their titles.
Prince
I don't know.
Pussy.
You think that's what that means?
I don't know. I have no idea.
They never really explain it.
I didn't look into the Shakespeare play that much. There was a lot of innuendo that I didn't know was actually innuendo in the Shakespeare play, but it comes across in the performances. Pete Postlethwaite is what's his name, Friar Lawrence, and he's talking about young men don't love with their hearts or whatever, they love with their eyes. And the way he pauses, you know exactly what he's talking. He absolutely sells it. That's one of the strengths of this movie, is the acting cast is outstanding.
Yeah, it made this play make more sense than it ever has to me.
Yeah,
I loved it. It came alive in ways that it never has.
I absolutely agree. And like I said, I think the casting choices are spot on.
Oh yeah.
The weakest one might be Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
Well, as far as Shakespearean dialogue delivery, you can tell he's not a trained Shakespearean actor.
Okay.
And his dialogue delivery's good, but it's not quite there. You know who's really good in this? Is fucking Clueless's brother that she has sex with. What's his name? Paul Rudd.
Oh yeah.
Because he plays Paris. In the very few scenes that he's in, I don't know if he's trained Shakespearean, like a Shakespearean trained actor or not, but he's really good. He's got the cadence down pat. And the guy that plays Mercutio, or not Mercutio, that's another play.
It is Mercutio, his best friend.
Yeah. The guy that plays Mercutio, I think his name is Harold Perrineau.
Yeah, he was amazing. He stole every scene he was in.
Absolutely stole every scene he was in, and spot on, perfect Shakespearean delivery. Like, he has that cadence down. Absolutely excellent.
And I mean, I love the character, and how he manages to be creepy when he wants to be creepy and not other times.
And fun-loving and carefree.
Playful.
He like you said, he steals the show in every scene that he's in. He's excellent. And DiCaprio is a good actor, but he owns those scenes, man.
Yeah.
Like, that dude owns those scenes. I think he's one that's going to go places.
Oh, yeah.
But, so like I said, big, bold choices all over the place. The color palette of this is a huge, bold choice.
It's vibrant like a box of neon markers. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah, the very bright colors. There's filters over almost every shot of the movie where it's either like it's sunset and everything is burnt orange, or a lot of times you see the Capulets and there's a blue, like a slight blue filter over it. It's like they've assigned that color to the Capulets. Their cars are blue. They wear a lot of blue suits. They've really coordinated this color. Like, he's got a very clear, I think Baz Luhrmann has a very clear idea of what color is associated with this character, what color is associated with this character. It's all laid out. You can tell it's very planned, though, not only just putting the gels on or whatever and colorizing, doing a color grading of different scenes, but the way it's set up, it's all pre-planned.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's dressed in a certain way. Everyone's, all these colors, like you said, are vibrant and popping and jump off the screen.
And there's a lot of lights, a lot of, neon lights in some scenes where, it doesn't really fit, but it looks amazing.
So they they made the decision, or Baz Luhrmann made the decision, because William Shakespeare is a credited writer on this, which is hilarious. But he wrote it, and he co-wrote it with somebody else and directed this. And it feels like he very much has control of this movie. Mm-hmm. And even more, like, Strictly Ballroom's a good movie, but it is not bold in the way that this is bold. And like I said, this is going to turn some people off, I think. But I love the courage of, like, let's just put our stamp on this. Let's go all out. And the biggest, probably the two biggest choices, I think, that they made, or he made in creating this, is that it's set in modern times, and instead of swords, they're using the sword of the day, the gun.
Right.
Which has sword emblazoned on the side or dagger emblazoned on the side. But they're using those. But they're not using modern speech pattern.
Right.
It's Shakespearean words, as we alluded to with the deliveries. It's Shakespearean writing, Shakespearean words.
Dialogue, yeah.
Dialogue, yeah, thank you. And modern, everything else is modern. And it elevates this movie. The dialogue elevates this movie into something much more than it would be if they decided, let's have them talk like people.
Oh, yeah, that would not work.
Like modern people now.
Yeah, that'd be like West Side Story or something. I was just going to say, then it's just an updated West Side Story, essentially. And that decision, like I said, it really elevates this material to something almost operatic. Yes.
And I love the set design. I love the whole world that's been created here. We're in Verona. Who the fuck knows where that is? Because it's not in Italy. Everyone's speaking English. Everything's in. There's nothing in the metric units. I don't know where they're at.
Well, okay. There's that big statue. Isn't that supposed to be like Christ our Savior or something? Or
it's a knockoff of Christ the Redeemer.
The Redeemer,
which is in Brazil.
Oh yeah, they're definitely not in Brazil.
They're not in Brazil.
I kind of get the impression it's like Venice Beach or something. Like
maybe it is. It seems very American.
Yeah.
Their locale seems very inner city American, but like I said, all the choices, and there's a European flavor with the Christ the Redeemer thing, with some of the Gothic sort of architecture, but most of the street level stuff feels very American.
Right.
And I don't know where this film was shot.
I 100% think it was in California.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he's banished, he's in the desert.
Yeah.
And before that, they're on a coast. So
it does seem like they're in California. But yeah, so I think those were great decisions.
Yeah.
For Shakespearean dialogue, modern day. It makes it very interesting, the juxtaposition of those two things.
Yeah, I mean, from the minute it starts to the minute it ends, like, it's just draws you in. You don't feel time passing in any way.
Yeah, I didn't, like I said, the first 5 minutes I was really worried. And then after that, I just couldn't take my eyes off the movie. It's
beautiful.
Everything kind of, it really does transport you to its world. Mm-hmm. And it takes a story everyone knows how this story goes. But it takes a story and gets you really engrossed in it. Even if you don't, I think part of me held back a little emotionally because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with adapting this, is that, and I was worried.
What?
I was worried at the end, because the problem with adapting this is it lessens the blow a little bit when they kill themselves at the end. Mm-hmm. Or the other way you do it is change the end.
Oh, no.
And I was so worried at the end when Leonardo DiCaprio's got his little vial of poison and Clare Danes starts moving, or his hand's on her hand, and her finger starts moving. I'm like, well, he definitely feels that. And her eyes are opening. He hasn't taken the poison yet, all this stuff. I was like, oh, no, don't tell me. Do not tell me that they're going to change it to where he almost takes the poison. And she's like, wait, no, it's cool.
I loved the acting between the two of them, though, in this scene in particular.
Well, the acting between the two of them is very good all throughout. But yeah, let's talk about this scene in particular.
Well, he drinks the poison. She opens her eyes and sees him, and she's just so happy. Like, you can just feel the thrill and the love.
She's an excellent actress.
In this one look. And then when he sees that she is looking at him, but he's now swallowed the poison, just the shock, the remorse. Like, they both just do such an excellent job conveying so much without any words.
Yeah. And then she picks up his gun. And this is another thing that's like, this is delicate how you how you handle this, right? So she picks up his gun, and they cut away, and you just hear the shot, which I think's the right call. And then she drops, and you see that the gun made just a little red mark on her temple. When in reality, that gun would have blown a giant hole.
There's just this artistic red splatter of blood. Yeah.
But handled appropriately.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see. Because in the play, she takes a dagger, and that's not nearly as visceral as shooting yourself in the head. And we don't want to see her do that. Because that's not good.
You don't think stabbing yourself in the chest with a dagger is as visceral? I think it's more visceral. Think about...
I'm talking about aftermath-wise.
Oh, okay.
Like, visually. Because, this is, like, it's a movie, so it's a visual medium.
Right.
And you can do you don't have to hide things. Or you can choose not to hide things in a movie that you kind of almost have to hide in a play. Because in a play, you're in a very fixed position. That's your sight line. You can't get any closer. You can't get any farther away. Movies have the advantage of being able to show very wide, like views and things like that, very far away views, or super close up. And they could have gotten really in the ditch with Juliet in this scene, and I think he made the right call. This is the tasteful way to do it. Yeah. And I think it's the tasteful way to end her character. And her Juliet feels different. Not like she's not hitting it, but it feels like she owns it. Mm-hmm. She really owns this character.
Yeah.
And in a way that's different than portrayals of Juliet that I've seen.
She seems stronger than I think previous Juliets.
Yeah, and I think that's another big strength of this movie is that I don't think she carries the movie because, like I said, this is an ensemble for sure, and everyone's doing a ton of work. Even John Leguizamo, and I don't want to say even John Leguizamo because he's a good actor too. He was in that Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar movie that we saw, but his role, again, is kind of very flamboyant. It's almost one note, right? Because he's out there angry and flamboyant. He's crushing matchsticks under his steel-heeled boots. Yeah. And he's all flash and let's get into a fight and I'm going to beat your ass kind of thing. But he really brings a fun energy to this role.
Tybalt.
Yeah, Tybalt. But everyone is great, but she really owns a lot of the scenes that she's in.
Oh yeah. And my favorite scene of the whole movie is again her and Leonardo together. Mm-hmm.
Well, they're excellent in the movie together.
When they first see each other at the party through the aquarium, it's just so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And, I mean, the just like the little, the flirting and stuff, and like my little niece was in the theater with us, and she like whispered to me, "Does he love her?" It's like, I mean, it's been like 10 seconds, right, but you already feel it.
Yeah, and I love the staging of all the different beats. It gives a freshness. You know what's going to happen. You know what light through yonder window breaks, and wherefore art thou Romeo, and all those stuff. You know the lines. You know the beats. Even if you don't know the play that well, most people know those lines. But I love the staging of all the different things. It's surprising. but it's not so out of the ordinary that you're thrown off of it. Like, oh, well, you can really see, they did something completely different there. It's, it's close enough, but it's, whether it's Leonardo DiCaprio like kind of hanging on the wall or whatever, I love the staging of all those different beats from their meeting to the let's get married kind of thing. And it really, you do feel the relationship, kind of lightning fast build. And
then like the tension, they do a really good job with the tension through the movie.
Yep.
Even though we know how it ends, you still are like rooting for it. Like
right.
when he's out in the desert, he's been banished, and the pastor is trying to send word to him, and he just misses the messenger. It's like you're like, no, like you really think maybe he's gonna get to him, but
right. When his buddy Benvolio comes into the church, it's like, Pete Postlewaite, just stop him.
Right. Say something.
Tell him, hey, she's still alive. Hey, you're going to see Romeo later, right? Just tell him, in case he didn't get my message, just tell him she's still alive.
There are so many ways it could have been different.
That was the dude, what's his name? Kobayashi, the lawyer for, I think that was his name.
I recognize the name, but I can't figure out
it's from
where.
The Usual Suspects.
Oh, okay.
We did that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pete Postlewaite is in that movie too.
Well, excellent actor.
Oh, he's really good. He's excellent in a lot of things. He's another, he's a classically trained actor. But yeah, I would say the casting's the biggest strength, I think, of the movie. Obviously, the story's a great story. It's stood the test of time. But I really do, besides that first 5 minutes, I really do like all the choices that were made. And they're, like I said, they're big, bold choices. This movie easily could have turned into a farce. It could have turned terrible, but really steady directing hand. And this guy, and it makes sense coming from a tradition in the theater, this guy, Baz Luhrmann, he really knows how to work with actors, clearly. Because he really knows how to tell each one of them, this is what's going on in this scene, this is what I want you to do. Like, it comes out in the performances.
Oh, yeah. Another thing we haven't even talked about yet, though, is the music. The music in this movie is another thing that just, I think elevates it.
They play that Love Fool song.
Yeah, I love that.
Love me. I love that. And that's a popular song. And that's another, the restraint of that is only in for, 10 seconds of that song. But yeah, the talk about the music. The music's excellent, too.
Well, like, in the beginning, when you're just meeting the boys, the characters, and they have the, I am a pretty piece of flesh. Like, it gives it the tone that they can't give it with the dialogue. And that's another, that's one way I think they use the music in this movie.
Yeah, you're right. The visuals and the music set the tone, and because you're right, the dialogue is going to give it the tone of Shakespeare. But like I said, I think that's the juxtaposition of those two things. I think is what works perfectly. But yeah, the visuals and the music, especially, I think, do set the tone that they're looking for. That's an excellent observation.
I bet you that at least 2 music videos will spring forth from this movie, right. At least.
And that was the other thing that I was going to say. As bombastic as this movie is in a lot of different areas, I think where it really shines is in its quiet moments. When there's a lot of quick cutting, there's a lot of very good editing choices in this. But there's a lot of quick cutting. There's a lot of everything's frenetic kind of pace. But when the movie and the movie does take the time to do this, when the movie slows down a little bit, the movie takes its time to breathe, and the movie has some quiet moments, whether it's between the nurse and Juliet, or where the nurse is like messing with her and everything, or whether it's all the scenes with Juliet and Romeo, or even some of like I think Brian Dennehy and Christina Pickles have a scene in the car that's kind of also like an intimate moment. Not where they're being intimate, but like everything's very quiet and they're discussing important things.
Right.
I think the movie really shines, and because the acting shines through there, we still have the color palette of the movie around to give us this uniformity of feel. But I think, and the bombastic parts are fun and good too. But I think the movie really shines through. The greatness of what's going on here really shines through in those intimate moments.
Yeah. And, there was the scene when after Juliet has married Romeo and Tybalt has been killed.
Right.
And she has lost her virginity to Romeo. Mm-hmm. And then her father is coming to tell her, you have to marry Paris.
Right. You have to marry Paul Rudd. The worst thing any woman could hear.
I think it's funny, too, they're showing, he's on magazine covers, he's the Bachelor of the Year. It's like, she should want to marry him. There's no reason for her not to want to marry him.
Well, she's in love with somebody else.
Yeah. And just the crazy anger that he gets, but seeing that interaction, it felt so much heavier and more real. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was just because of the, caliber of the actors or...
Well, Paul Sorvino's an excellent actor, too. He's more of like a mob-heavy kind of guy, and stuff. But he's great, too. He was in one of my favorite movies that came out, I think, in 91? Or maybe, I think it was 91. Maybe it was 89. I don't remember. But it was somewhere around there. No, it was 91. The Rocketeer.
And the way her mother says, I'm done with you. Like, just the flatness. Mom turned off. Mom is gone now.
Right.
It was amazing. That was, honestly, though, the only time in the theater I got choked up at that scene. Mm-hmm. But not when they killed themselves.
Well, that's because we know that's coming.
Yeah.
But all the kind of little injuries along the way, you might not remember as much. And I think that's another place where the movie does a great job too, because it really highlights those things. And there's a lot of really good scenes in this movie.
It's hard to do it justice. I think we could probably talk about how fantastic it is for as long as it would take you to watch the movie.
Oh yeah. But this is one you don't want to wait to rent.
No.
Go see this in the theater. Get the full theater experience. I hate going to the movie theater, despite the fact that we do this show every week.
But I love the popcorn. Don't you love the popcorn?
I just hate sitting around all those people eating loudly and talking. And
you're such a grumpy puss.
No. But anyway, but I would say go see this in the theater.
And then see it again.
It's excellent.
Maybe even again, because I'm going to.
My only, and I'm not, I know you think I have something against this dude. I don't.
Okay.
But my only thing here is I think that the dude that plays the Harold Perrineau that plays Mercutio, going places.
Yes.
Clare Danes, I think, is going places. Mm-hmm. Everyone else in this movie is pretty well established. DiCaprio, though, I don't know. I think he's good in this movie, and he was good in the Basketball Diaries. But as you pointed out, it's similar performances a little bit. I don't know that I like him in this movie, and I like him with Claire Danes. They have really good chemistry together. But I wonder how much of that is her elevating him and not them elevating each other. And I just worry that I just think that this guy might not have the kind of career that the rest of these people are going to have.
I disagree. And the reason I disagree is What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Okay.
He
was fine in that.
He was fine. He was amazing.
He was playing someone with a mental challenge. It's not the hardest thing in the world to play. Are you kidding me? I'm just saying.
I think it probably is one of the harder things to pull off tastefully, to pull off well, and he did. And that was a way different character than the other two. He was saying
on growing pains,
he reminded me
I mean,
of the Basketball Diaries. I mean, it is the same dude, so that makes sense, right? I mean, I'm not trying to insult the guy.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what choices he makes. I don't know. I'm not sold yet. That's all I have to say.
I have one criticism, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, interesting.
At the end, when Juliet is crying because Romeo died, it's like a wail of a child having a temper tantrum.
Oh, yeah. She's not a pretty crier.
She's a terrible crier. I mean, God love her. Like, she gets the ugly cry, and the sound of this one, it was just like...
She was also like that as Angela Chase. So
yeah, we saw her cry a lot as Angela Chase.
Yeah, she's not a pretty crier.
I mean, I love her. I just think they need to give her fewer crying scenes.
For sure. But yeah, I mean that's the episode. Go see this one in the theaters. It's absolutely worth it.
Go see it and then write us and tell us how much you love it.
Yeah.
Or hate it if you do, and then we'll tell you you're crazy.
Well, like I said, I think there's going to be some people that are like, I don't like this at all. Because it's a lot of bold choices, and that's the nature of making bold choices.
It's just so pretty. How do you not love it? I don't get it.
It is a very beautiful movie to look at.
Yeah.
But why don't you tell the people what other beautiful things they could do?
All right. So like I said, write us at latefee1994@aol.com.
Yeah, do that.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Mm-hmm.
And tell your friends.
Yeah, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.